On your Thursday afternoon, we have some really pleasant weather on tap today, and for the weekend, actually fall-like weather coming our way, especially for our nights and mornings this weekend. Still going to be pretty warm in the afternoons. Today we'll have lots of sunshine, not a cloud in the sky over the French Quarter. 83 degrees right now. It is breezy today. We have north-northeast winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, a little gusty at times because a cold front has dropped into the Gulf Coast. If you can believe it, we will have some drier air that moves in, so dew points are in the upper 60s now. It is gradually going to become less humid as the day progresses, and we'll have low humidity tomorrow and this whole weekend coming up. Temperatures, they're not as hot. That's also a good thing. Well, it's going to be less hot for the weekend as well. We are saying goodbye to the 80s. Today, temperatures are saying goodbye to the 90s, I should say. We're in the 80s today. So yesterday, we actually had a record temperature of 91 degrees at the New Orleans airport. We tied an old record from 1962, but we're saying goodbye to the 90s today. And we'll stay in the 80s, but it will be very warm. 86 in Mandeville, 84 in Slidell, 83 in Kenner, and 80s down the bayou as well. So warm temperatures for your afternoon on your Thursday, but the cold front has done wonders farther to the north. It's actually pretty chilly across the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic and into New England. They're sitting in the 50s and 60s. If only that cooler air could come to us. This cold front isn't going to bring any big chill for us, but our nights and mornings will certainly feel a bit more refreshing going into this weekend. But it is going to remain warm across the Gulf Coast today. We're in the 80s all along the Gulf Coast. But behind this cold front is going to be much drier air. The drier air is making its way into the lower Mississippi Valley, and you'll notice it's going to feel a lot less humid going into tomorrow and this weekend. As for today, expect lots of sunshine. Temperatures will be warming up to the upper 80s this afternoon. Tonight, we'll see clear skies. Temperatures will be in the 70s this evening. And here is that drier air trickling its way down into the Gulf Coast. So dew points are in the 60s along the Gulf Coast now, and they'll continue to lower going into tomorrow and this weekend. So we'll probably have dew points in the 50s on Saturday and Sunday, and that's pretty low humidity for the deep south. So we'll take it. Expect a drop in humidity today, and it stays dry and comfortable tomorrow, this weekend, and into next week. We have the low humidity sticking around. Temperatures also are not going to be as hot over the next week. We'll stay in the lower 80s this weekend, 83 tomorrow, Saturday, and on Sunday we'll be up to maybe 84 degrees, so low 80s for the weekend. And then next week it does get a bit warmer. We'll be back in the mid to upper 80s for the next work week. But your weekend forecast is going to be very beautiful. Expect lots of sunshine all weekend long. The low humidity sticks around this weekend, and temperatures won't be as hot. We'll be in the 80s, and we'll have those cooler nights and mornings as well. That's when you notice it will kind of feel like fall this weekend once the sun goes down. So tomorrow morning we'll start the day slightly cooler. Temperatures mostly in the 60s tomorrow morning, but here is Saturday morning. 50s on the North Shore, 60s on the South Shore. So 50s and 60s for our morning low temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. So that's the crisp fall air coming our way this weekend. Once the sun sets for the nights and mornings this weekend, it will feel much cooler outside. Also over the next week, there is no rain in the forecast. It's going to be completely dry from now until the middle of next week. And most of southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi is in a drought. So if we continue to see these prolonged dry stretches, we may see worsening drought conditions. So many of us are either abnormally dry or in a moderate drought now, something we'll have to watch going into the next several weeks. Out in the tropics, a couple spots to watch in the Atlantic. Tropical Storm Jerry, and then one spot way out in the eastern Atlantic has a low chance of development. That's headed east anyway. And then Tropical Storm Jerry is going to be bringing some impacts to parts of the islands, the Leeward Islands, in the coming days as it moves north and eventually moves east away from Bermuda going into this upcoming weekend and into next week. So it will likely strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane, but it's not moving anywhere near the United States. So no tropical worries for the Gulf Coast, no tropical concerns for the United States over the next week. Here's your 7-day. Enjoy this pleasant stretch of weather. Finally, a slight cool down for your weekend. We'll have ample sunshine and really delightful weather takes us into most of next week too.